Today's Bible English New Vocabulary. Afterward, consider, deny, disguise, entrance, inquire, intend, intercourse, preach, proposition, prostitute, remain, seaman, searing, spear, stick, supervise, widow. Genesis chapter 38, verse 10. But the Lot considered it a wicked thing for Onan to deny the child to his dead brother. So the Lot took Onan's life too. Then Judah told Tamar, his daughter-in-law, not to marry again at the time but to return to her parents' home. She was to remain a widow until his youngest son, Shelah, was old enough to marry her. But Judah didn't really intend to do this because he was afraid Shelah would also die like his two brothers. So Tamar went home to her parents. In the course of the time Judah's life died. After that time of the mourning was over, Judah and his friends Hira, the Adulamites, went to Timah to supervise the shearing of his sheep. Someone told Tamar that her father-in-law had left for the sheep shearing in Timnah. Tamar was aware that Shelah had grown up, but they had not called her to come and marry him, so she changed out of her widow's clothing and covered herself with a veil to disguise herself. Then she sat beside the road at the entrance of the village of the Enaim, which is on the way to the Timnah. Judah noticed her as he went by and thought he was a prostitute since her face was bared. So he stopped and propositioned her to sleep with him, not realizing that he was his own daughter-in-law. How much will you pay me? Tamar asked. I will send you a young goat from my flock, Judah promised. What price will you give me so I can be sure you will spend it? She asked. Well, what do you want? He inquired. She replied, I want identification, sear your coat and the walking sticks you are carrying. So Judah gave this item to her. She then let him sleep with her, and he became pregnant. Afterward, she was home and took off her veil and put on her widow's clothing as usual. Judah asked her friend Hira, the Edomite, to take the young goat back to her and pick up the priest he had given her. But Hira couldn't find her, so he asked the man who lived there, where can I find the prostitute who was sitting